behold the Riot podcast.
This should be a long one.
You're going to learn so much about Nikki today. I told Nikki off air, I was like, you're in rare form. Like, she was just like, let me self-disclose. I've got things to talk about.
I can't guarantee I'll do that tomorrow again because I don't know. We laughed a lot, though.
Oh, I know.
We really laughed a lot.
We had
real
so
laugh.
much fun.
It was great.
So much fun.
So enjoy that in this podcast. We talk also snacks with Hudson. And we did a Riot food fight with the Doritos Blaze because coming up on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, if you're normally a podcast listener only, you can watch us on our Facebook pages, which is RadioU and RadioU Riot with Hudson. We'll be doing a game night. We're playing Ticket to Ride, and you can join us.
It's going to be fun.
And I really would like a few Ticket to Ride players to be on Facebook to help us if we have any questions.
Oh, do you want that? Because here's the thing.
Not in a mean way.
Remember what the guy in the comments said about the video you were watching? You're playing it wrong.
Well, I want someone to help us if we ask any questions.
Okay. So you can't tell us
no
we're wrong.
Unsolicited ones.
But if we say, hey, is this right? Then you can tell us.
Because that way, if we're missing a rule or something and we ask, then you can play along and help with us.
Okay. I'm okay with what you just said.
So that is Thursday. Make sure you go ahead and like and follow. That's the key. If you follow our pages, then you'll get notified when we go live. And if you want to, some of this morning, we did Facebook Live with as well. So RadioU and RadioU Riot, they're up there.
Mm-hmm. So anything else you want to
I hope you guys enjoy.
You know what? If you guys don't, you're dead inside. We had a lot of fun. I
thought you were going to say you're dead to me.
No, you're already dead inside. You guys enjoy the podcast.
Bye.
Sometimes a bad example is the best example. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I take vitamins. I don't know if they're any good. You know what they say? Like, it depends on what you read. Some people are like, if you're eating anything, you'll never need vitamins.
But then on the other hand, some say that vitamins can help, depending on which ones.
You should really be taking vitamins. So, I don't know. I'm playing the odds. What if they help?
You got to find a middle place.
Occam's razor. It's like, I'll just go ahead and take them just in case it's real. And today I had that thing. Do you ever feel like you get a pill stuck in your throat?
Yeah, I've had that before, especially with vitamins seem so dry of a pill.
We had a friend of ours that took an antibiotic and it got stuck in her esophagus, and so she was in the hospital for a week or something.
Really?
You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Oh, that was a thing.
It
happened.
Oh my gosh.
And ever since then, if I get this feeling that a pill's stuck in my throat, I'm like, all right, I need food, I need water, I need anything I can get.
And I need it stat.
Yeah. I mean, there is an element of, when I look back on it, part of me is like, wait a minute. Is that actually what happened?
Is there something else?
Was there something else going on? And they're like, no, it's this. Seriously, this is what happened.
When it comes to pill time, I've seen people that are like, oh, I don't even need water, and it's these giant pills. And I'm like, no, I'll take a gallon of water right now.
Well,
just to be sure.
I got in the car and I was like, I think it's stuck in my throat. As soon as I get to the station, I got to get water. So I've had 16 ounces of water.
Just to make sure. Well, you're still standing. I think you're fine.
I'm still drinking it. No, you don't know.
Is it still feeling like it?
I don't know. I can't tell anymore.
It also just can kind of bump it so you feel like it's a little bruised.
That could be it. What if I got a bruise in there? Just got to shake your throat.
It down.
And then sing too.
And see, if it was really stuck, I would think you can't do any of that. So I don't think you should be too worried.
I haven't talked to this person in 4 years, but maybe I should call him and be like, hey, listen, I know that it's really early. And I know that we haven't talked in a long time, but I need to go back and talk about the pill thing. Can you tell me what happened?
What do you feel like? Because this is what I feel.
First off, were you lying about that? Was that real? Okay. So it was real.
Because it was 1 week.
Yeah.
In a vacation.
Mm-hmm. But it was a hospital. They said it was.
They said it was.
I didn't go there.
They said it was. Every city technically has a hospital, so that was technically where you were on vacation.
Man.
It's not like you're really lying. I mean, it's there somewhere.
More than I actually have multiple times throughout my life that I could tell you guys about where people just lied to me and I just completely bought it. Just
big ones.
Just
big lies.
Absolutely. It was like, oh, yeah, okay. All right. And now in retrospect, it's like, well, of course they were lying. But at the time, I was like, no, that's what they said, so it's real.
We must believe it.
I believe them.
He has a heart of gold.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so naive sometimes.
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
You know, Nikki, I wish people could hear your first reactions to things.
Why?
It's always your second reaction. So, Nikki, we're playing this Thursday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. The Riot is doing game night. Hudson is invited. We're going to be playing Ticket to Ride.
This is our first time doing a board game edition of our Facebook shows.
Yeah.
I think we've done everything else but this, but it seems like a lot of people are interested in board games nowadays, and Ticket to Ride is one of a set of very popular games.
And so we're going to use it, and it's going to be great. We're so much fun.
And you really sold it right there.
Well, you know what? My mind was on something else. So what I'm thinking about is Nikki watching this YouTube video. She's like, hey, I'm going to watch someone teach me how to play.
Well, I want to make sure, because I played the board game and the app, but I just want to make sure I know all the specifics of it. So I thought, well, I'll watch a little tutorial. And what?
Tell them what you said.
No, I don't even remember. It was like 5 minutes ago. I don't even remember.
This guy's like, here's how you play your favorite game.
It was a bit much.
And Nikki's response was, we just can't be cool about this, can we?
It was just a bit much.
Can't be cool about it.
It was his approach to it, but he's got a lot of views on it, and
do you think
fine.
Do you think it's him, or do you think it's Ticket to Ride that's driving those views?
No, I think it's him. I just think it's and I'm going to make a judgment on his personality based on one sentence that he says. I don't know. I'll watch it,
Hey,
and
man,
I want to learn.
Being in the media is brutal. People are immediately dismissive. There's a lot of Nickies out there. They're like, we're out.
Oh, no.
It's real.
It's not.
It's real.
No, it's just it's a world, and I didn't know that about board games. It's a whole world.
It is a whole world.
There's a lot of stuff going on there. There's a lot of levels to it.
This guy is excited to invite you into his world.
To get on board the train of the Ticket to Ride.
In a lot of ways, he's trying to be a good host for you. It's like, oh my gosh, these people are interested in board games. I've been loving board games forever.
You know, I bet he really likes it. But to me, the side of where it's like, oh, let's critique it. It didn't come off as real, even though I bet he really loves it. It's like, hey, Obi, let's get this game out, shall we? It was just not the same.
Not good enough for you.
Not the enthusiasm I thought.
All right. Do you want to put that in the comments?
No. Should I comment on it?
You should put the comments in.
It's like, hey, sir, I know you made this video in 2016, but I've got a comment.
You have to start.
Thumbs up so he'll see it.
You have to start with something like, just to let you know, I'm a professional, and I know how these things are supposed to work.
Well, a lot of comments are saying this is the best Ticket to Ride tutorial I've ever found.
Wow, really?
That's quite a compliment there.
Do you want to post it so other people can see it? Or do you need to go through and make sure there isn't?
I need to go through. What if you start swearing?
So you take this blankety-blank train and you put it on the blanking board. But he does it super cheerful the whole time.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, that's a unique approach to a tutorial, isn't it?
Makes me want to see that.
Oh, no, someone else says, I don't like the board game now. Looks boring. So it's off and on.
Look, I think it's hard to sell board games like in a video like that. You have to play it before you're going to figure out whether it's any fun. That's my opinion.
And then others have said you played the game wrong because, anytime on
YouTube.
YouTube.
If you're on YouTube, you're doing it wrong.
You just can't do it right.
You're doing it wrong.
There's some critiques there. I'm going to watch a couple of tutorials.
Comments, Nikki.
Okay, I'm going to scroll back up. That's fine.
Unless you're leaving one.
No.
Stay out of them.
No, I'm going to watch a couple, and then we'll get ready for Thursday. Ticket to Ride at 9 p.m. Eastern is when the train leaves the station. Woo! And that'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific. Again, Hudson will be joining us. That's on Radio U and Radio U Riot for Facebook. So make sure you follow us there and sign up to get notified.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Hey, does anybody know the password to our texting program?
So annoying to get into this program, and it shouldn't be. I've got my first incorrect one. We'll figure it out.
It's good.
I guess you'll see everybody's text messages.
Well, I know you can, but I can't.
You can't. Well,
so
Megan,
Nikki's like, did you see that text from... No.
Earlier, Obi was talking about he took a vitamin this morning and feels a bit like it's stuck. Still in does it still feel like it?
Oh, it just doesn't feel right in there.
It just is wrong.
So I hope it's not still there.
So Megan said, oh no, don't be scared. Dad tends to get food stuck in his throat. So when that happens, a Coke will usually do the trick. A guy we know went to the ER and the doctor walked it in, handed him a Coke, and then that was it. It takes care of it. So you need a little carbonation.
Oh, I need some soda.
Yeah.
And it really is medicinal.
Oh, and there's some in the back. It's Pepsi, but I'm
Diet
assuming,
Pepsi?
I don't know if it's regular or diet.
All right. Maybe I should get some just to, clear things out.
Just to make sure. I think it'd
medicinal.
be safe. It'd be safe.
It's medicinal.
So thank you, Megan, for texting us.
Yeah. I also love that apparently your dad and I both have pill problems. What is... Do you... Like,
is that the first thing that goes?
At the home, they give your dad a Coke every day with his pill that's baked into a brownie. Is that? Did anybody
started you peanut butter or cheese wrapped around it?
Did anybody else hear that? Because I heard it.
You're just like Megan's dad. Congratulations.
Me and Megan's dad,
now,
both choking on our vitamins.
I think she's just telling you that there's someone else in her life.
I got to get my back pill. I got to get my back pill.
Well, no, because then a guy that the family knows had to go to the ER, so they had the problem too.
Well, okay, so then maybe that person wasn't lying to us about her hospital stay. Maybe
Seems
she
like
really
it's a common
did.
problem.
So she should have been drinking soda. She should have been having more of that.
Now, Shamika had a great idea. Hates when that happens, so takes gummy vitamins instead. There's no choking on that. That won't get stuck there.
My problem is I'm afraid with those gummy vitamins because, with gummy bears, you're like, well, I'll just have a couple more. Pretty soon, you're very vitamined.
Okay, I promise you. I had a thing of gummy vitamins at my nightstand.
Yeah.
And one night I woke up and I was like, gosh, I am so hungry.
You did not.
I had like a couple just because I didn't want to get up. It's like, it's fine. It won't kill me. It's like a little snack. Don't keep them there anymore. Yeah, you're right.
I'm more worried about you now than I've ever been. I mean,
it's fine.
I'm more worried about you than I've ever been. You woke up in the middle of the night. You didn't even.
I was hungry. So it's fine. It's like a little snack. It's fine.
We need to start putting something by your bed, okay? That also.
Some crackers or something, don't I?
That also feels like something for an old person. Like, all right, we put some of Grandma's Nella wafers next to the bed so she won't eat her vitamins in the night. If you don't put cookies there, she'll eat all the vitamins.
My stomach hurts.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I can't be the only person to do that.
All right, you know what? That's fine.
It's fine.
Is anybody listening right now? Have you eaten a vitamin as a snack in the middle of the night?
A gummy vitamin.
Please
There's a difference.
Don't hesitate to text or call 877-2-RADIO-U.
I don't feel like we can share now anymore right here.
Have you snacked on a gummy vitamin?
I was tired. I didn't want to get up, and it was right there.
Oh, my gosh.
How does Nikki put up with Obadiah day after day? It's easy. We pay her. Radio U.
Do you feel like we're not coming off as cool enough? Is that your worry?
You mean what, like that guy in the YouTube video?
The Ticket to Ride one I was watching.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's getting rough.
It's about health, and
it is.
It's about...
It's important.
Earlier, Obi had a vitamin, and it's a little stuck there in the throat.
So then Shamika told us to take gummy vitamins, and then Nikki admits to the fact that in the middle of the night...
I once got hungry.
Can I ask you this? Like, when you were laying in bed and you were hungry, how long did it take you to decide to eat the gummy vitamins? Did it take like a couple of minutes?
It was like I had a genius idea. I was like, I don't have to get up. I mean, they're there.
Just eat these
If
gummy
I just
vitamins.
eat one or two, my body will think we've eaten. So we don't need to. I might have also done that with Tums. Oh my gosh. I want to get up. I don't want to get up when I'm sleeping. I don't want to get up.
You need to
I need a tissue. I can't share anymore. I can't share. I can't share.
You need to stop putting stuff on your bed. Oh my God.
That's calcium. That's good for you.
I can't even breathe right now. Oh my gosh.
You want to talk to the people?
You're snacking on Tums. The next thing you're going to tell me is that...
That's all I've got. That's all I've got.
Are you sure?
Okay. Tums, that's it.
You're not eating tissues in the middle of the night or something? Oh my gosh.
I can't continue anymore. You're going to have to talk. I got all my nose.
Hey, Maggie, have you...
Yeah.
So, have you eaten...
This can't just be me.
Have you eaten gummy vitamins as a snack?
Because you've been hungry.
Yeah, I've taken it a step further, though.
Wait, what do you mean you've taken it a step further?
What else could I do?
Are you baked?
Okay, well, so I have kids, so like they have chewable vitamins, and of course they're like, "Oh, Mommy, don't you want yours?" So even if I've already had my vitamins for the day, I'll be like, "Oh,
you
sure."
eat theirs?
Okay, sure. All right.
Maybe I should be baking with them.
This is so funny because I can totally relate. Like, we don't keep a lot of snacks in our house, and I have woken up in the middle of the night, like, really wanting something sweet, but we have absolutely nothing. And I was like, oh, there's some gummy vitamins. In the middle of the night, I walked to the kitchen and gotten some gummy vitamins.
You got up. She got up and went to the kitchen.
It's not just me.
I mean, I can
Those
get the bedside thing,
bears.
but you walked all the way to the kitchen.
Oh.
I have to tell you. So I have never had heartburn, but my husband sometimes gets it. And, like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I thought I was having a little bit of heartburn, and he had these, like,
the Tums.
I don't know, these heartburn chewy, like.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. No, so I had one. I was like, oh, I think I have some heartburn. This is weird. That thing was so delicious. I think I've had heartburn 3 times since then.
Oh my gosh. Maggie, thank you for calling.
I'm everyone.
You guys need to knock it off. You guys are the reason why we can't have food-flavored medicine.
No, we abuse it.
That diet, what was it, that NyQuil that was cherry vanilla flavored? You guys are the reason why they had to pull that off the market.
You got Dave. He said he's also had like half a bottle before of the gummy vitamins.
Dave, are you snacking on these things?
Yeah, they were vitamin C orange slice vitamins.
And so you just started eating them?
Yeah, I grabbed a handful of them.
Everybody's
didn't want to ruin my appetite and eat a whole bunch, and I just wanted something sweet, and they were good, so I ended up eating half the bottle.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Have a good morning. It's hot here.
What are you guys doing?
Everybody's doing it.
No, not everybody. Not everybody. Oh my gosh, you guys are weirding me out big time.
Is it weird that you're the only one not doing it?
Oh man, hey, could you pass those Tums? I'm hungry.
Oh my goodness.
The chewable ones. I mean, Nikki, you ate yours from your bedside. She got up and went into the kitchen and chose them.
I was choosing that snack.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Let's talk about Godzilla. Woo!
Everybody's turning us up now.
Yeah. Everybody's like, hang on. They've gone from Tums to Godzilla. I love this show.
I need to pull over because I need 100% focus on this story.
I gotta pay attention to this. Hey, I like Godzilla.
I do too.
Next year, we're supposed to get the next American Godzilla movie, right?
It's been forever.
I know. It'll have been like 4 or 5 years. Well, Toho, the people that make the Japanese Godzilla movies, they decided to let everybody know that they're working on the Godzilla shared universe. So think Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Godzilla.
So isn't that what it already is? Or is each Godzilla just focusing on one character? Like Godzilla and one other? Like a +1?
That, you know what? That's a really good way.
But instead, there'll be several characters in it.
Yeah, if you go back to the 90s, they actually kind of already had this. They had a bunch of Godzilla movies. They had the Mothra movies, and they were all technically happening
at the same time.
In the same thing. But this will be a new Godzilla series, and some of the other monsters will get spin-off movies, which is just insane.
Sounds stupid when you say it, doesn't it?
Well,
out loud?
Yeah. Well, and there's the American Godzilla universe too, though, because Kong Skull Island takes place in the same universe as Godzilla.
But you don't see him on that, do you?
If you stay around for the post-credits sequence, you do. Nikki's eye just twitched a little bit. Just a little bit.
I was like, don't be rude and roll your eyes. So I just wanted to do something.
Well, they say there's going to be the American Godzilla sequel and then a Godzilla versus Kong.
I remember that.
So they were building towards that. But then in Japan, they're going to do their own thing as well. And I still recommend, I loved Shin Godzilla.
The movie last year?
I loved that. And
what about, you never talked more about the Godzilla on Netflix?
On Netflix? Yeah.
Well, there's the tone. There it is.
It was all right.
You don't have to like it.
I know I don't have to. It was one of those things that, unlike many things on Netflix, I watched the entire thing because most things on Netflix I watch half and stop. I watched the whole thing and I thought it was entertaining, but it didn't really feel like Godzilla.
Sure.
So it was more about people on a spaceship, which I'm supposed to like, but whatever.
Well, so more stuff from Godzilla coming now.
Hey, I'm pumped, man, and they need to bring those movies over here. Don't make me wait a whole year before I can actually see it.
The Riot's future, 2 words. Goat Farm. RadioU.
Go ahead, Nikki, tell them.
Tell them what?
Tell them what you told me.
No, this makes me seem like I'm angsty today for some reason. I don't like anything.
You are angsty.
Well, don't tell me these things.
Off air, Nikki goes, great, you just ruined my morning.
John Wick has been John Wick 1 was great.
Nikki is in love with John Wick because not Keanu Reeves, but John Wick, the character. Because
he's a bad boy, but loves dogs.
He loves dogs, and Nikki knows that he can be the strong man in her life because he was married, and that means he's wounded now, and he needs a sweet someone to come along and fill the gap in his life.
No, I just like the movie, too. Old school fighting, it seemed very...
headshotty?
Not the same Hollywood sort of makeup like John Wick 2 was, where it was ruined. It was bad. It wasn't very good. Hollywood got all in on that, and they messed it up. So John Wick 2, when you finish the movie, was basically like a placeholder to get you ready for John Wick 3.
It's true.
So John Wick 3, I had high hopes. I thought, well, maybe we'll go back to a little bit of the first movie style that I liked. And Obi has told me that they've casted Halle Berry in it. And to me, that feels wrong. And I don't know why. It just does. I don't know why. I wanted someone more independent, not as known, or it just seems like it's been a while for Halle Berry.
Hilarious.
So we'll see what that entails. They're not saying what role she has in John Wick 3, so they don't know if she's a villain or someone else. But
her name will be Sophia. Mm-hmm. And it looks like we got a release date here, too. May 17th, 2019.
I don't know.
Do you know what that tells me?
I'll still see it, but I don't know.
The original John Wick came out in October or something. John Wick 2 was a February movie because that was our Valentine's trip.
Obi and I went for Valentine's Day with Obi's dad.
We brought my dad and Nikki brought Eric.
And I brought a pretzel. A big giant pretzel.
We all had a great time.
It was great. Except for the movie. Except for the movie, it was bad.
Except for the movie. There was a guy in the theater that had a sucker.
No, that was a lady next to me.
There was a woman that had a sucker. Nikki got mad.
I had to switch seats.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that they've gone from October to February, and now they've moved it into May.
So they think it's a stronger...
That's exactly right. That says they're very confident in what they're bringing to the table with John Wick 3.
I'm confident about something.
Including Halle Berry.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Just don't make it so... And I don't even think Hollywood is the right term, but it just had a different feel. It felt like there was 25 Hollywood studio bosses in the mix and that are like, no, let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. And it just messed it all up.
And then they go in and then they both have a drink.
It just was ruined.
It was not
all right, so
great.
May of 2019, next year.
That's the word, Nikki. May of 2019. So get ready. Actually, we have plenty of time. So
not much to do. I can just go.
Yeah.
I don't think seats will be sold out.
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's the Riot on Radio U.
I went to a restaurant. I almost said restroom.
Did you go?
No, that's not it. I went to a restaurant last night. It was a Mongolian barbecue place. And, if you've never been to one, you go up, you get all your meat, your fixins, and then they throw it on the grill.
Then they talk with you and try to make conversation.
Make the jokey time, sing the song, whatever.
Cook your food, and then you go.
It's totally fine. So everything's fine. I got my food. I was happy with it. Had a great experience, whatever. But here's the thing that I couldn't understand. I ended up, they stand you next to strangers in the line, and I ended up next to this lady. And the guy was cooking her food, and basically every time he would touch her food at all, meaning, like move it around,
with the little
shake it up,
things.
like cut up the meat or whatever, she would make these huge hand gestures, like, what are you doing? And then a few times she shook her head like crazy. Then she crossed her arms and all of this stuff. She was just emoting and was incredibly expressive.
Sure, how upset she was.
And I just kept looking at her and look at the food, look at her. And of course, you're just corner of the eye. You don't want to let her know that you're completely aware of what's going on. But to me, it just felt like if you're going to emote like that, I feel like you're asking someone to ask.
Yeah.
She
wants the attention with it.
My thought was are you why don't you just say something? He's right there. His back is to you, so he can't see all these gestures that you're making.
Maybe she used to work at a Mongolian barbecue as well, and that wasn't her technique.
You think?
Maybe.
The thing that's killing me is that I decided I was I'm not going to address it. I'm not going to talk to her about it, whatever. I can't stop thinking about her.
We should have asked her.
I so much wish that I just would have asked her what the problem was, because I want you to know that after I got my meal and sat down, I started looking around the restaurant trying to find her because I was just where did she...
And she was gone.
She was gone.
She was never there. That was your unhappiness next to you.
You think so?
Yeah, you saw the person.
There was just I was projecting an image in my mind, but that lady was not actually there.
That, or maybe she was just in the other part of the restaurant.
I was looking around, dude. I was where's that lady?
Did the guy cooking her food not say anything? Did he notice how weird she was acting?
Nope, didn't say a word. And when he handed her the food, she just took it, said thank you, and left. And I was like, What is happening? I don't understand. And I wish I could find her. What do you think? Should I put it on Craigslist, those missed connections?
Yeah, you totally should.
Lady at Mongolian barbecue.
Lady at Mongolian.
No, I'm not in love with you, but I have to know. Why were you so mad?
What's your problem?
Why were you mad at the man that was making your food? I don't get it.
Don't contact the store. Never mind.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I just
some people are mad. Some people are upset. Some people don't know how to share their emotions.
I want to know, but now it's too late.
You'll never know.
Well, I feel like it's a real lesson that, in those moments, I should start asking questions. And then I can start getting stitches, probably. Don't look at me!
She grabs one of the spears.
I'm hey,
Hey, just put this one in your head and file it. And then one day when you're in heaven, be like, God.
God, do you remember?
Do you remember that lady was really weird at Mongolian? Can you tell me?
You're standing there and the Lord is like, what unanswered questions do you have from life, son?
About your time there on Earth.
Well, I'm glad that you asked. You'll recall the curious affair of May 21st, 2018.
Was that the Mongolian?
We were celebrating my mother's birthday at a Mongolian barbecue, and I found myself standing next to a woman who was very upset about the way her meal was being cooked, and yet said nothing.
I can't get it out of my head.
Can you tell me what was happening?
Maybe you'll find out then.
Maybe. I'm sure eventually my mind's going to let it go, but I keep thinking about her.
Not today.
The Riot is the radio equivalent of Taco Bell meat. Radio U. The Riot. Food fight.
Well, it's finally time. Hudson is here.
Hudson.
Good morning.
Hi, Hudson.
Hello, how are you? Hello.
Now, Hudson is ready, of course, for tomorrow. We've got our first ever Riot Live event, Game Night. Oh, Thursday night. Our Game Night edition. I thought tomorrow we can practice tomorrow night. Is that fine?
Hey, Game Night rehearsal.
But on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, we will be hosting Ticket to Ride. You can watch us play our first game night.
All right. So are you guys ready for some eating?
Yeah, we should. We should test out some snacks. Well, that's why Hudson's really here.
You know what you guys should do? You should take some time right now and go to facebook.com/RadioU. We're streaming. Chris, let's do some switching. Is it these keys here?
Switch between. We got a new program.
Wait, so let's see. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Look at all the switching that's happening right now.
Whoa.
Did you guys feel that rapid switch right there?
That's good.
It's big.
So join us at RadioU if you hop on real quick on Facebook.
Watch this. Watch the fade switch. Whoa!
Whoa!
It's happening now.
Hey, best ever food fight.
Hey, we told you guys that we were going to do this. We were trying to get it ready. Guess what? It was at the very last second that it finally came together.
Ready. So this is the new Doritos. Some people say they're so hot, and other people are saying, it's manageable, but it is supposed to be spicier. It's the Doritos Blaze.
Blaze. I don't believe it. Now, Hudson, how do you feel about hot stuff?
I'm good with hot stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm never had a problem with it. I've had, you ever had a friend where they just love hot stuff, and so, like, part of their initiation, if you ever want to be friends with them, is, like...
to share everything that they love that's
it's like,
hot.
you have to try, this is the hottest sauce we have. Mm-hmm. I have multiple friends like that, so...
Yeah, and now we know
I've been through the ringer.
Making it up. He doesn't have all those friends.
Ooh, it smells good, though.
I think it smells very peppery.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like some kind of a very hot pepper in that mix.
Okay, so this is Doritos Blaze. It's been out for a few. I mean, they're newer, though.
Like, it was new to me when I had it. So, all right, Hudson, what do you think? Like,
all right.
You go first. You're so confident. You go first.
I just want to see. Last time we tried the Doritos Roulette, like the hot chips, it wasn't really hot. So
it really wasn't. So
what do you think?
Not hot yet.
Not hot
yet. Okay.
Some person said it took him days to eat the whole bag.
Really?
Because it was so hot for them.
I thought it was days for him to experience the heat. Like finally, 3 days later, it finally got hot.
And don't forget, the one guy said that he ate them and then threw them all up, and it was like this miserable experience.
No, he said he got heartburn that night, and that's what caused him.
I believe that.
It's definitely warmer than the roulette ones, but it's not unmanageable. But it feels like it builds. When you eat hot stuff, you gotta say this: it builds.
Yeah. You don't get it all at first.
You guys don't think this is hot?
It is, but it's not unbearable.
I just felt like one spot on the back of my head, a little sweat.
Ooh, let's watch Obi's forehead. It's going to start sweating right on his forehead.
I got a little sweat right here.
It'll start sweating.
What is that
good.
scale?
Those are really good.
What's that scale where they
the
measure?
Scoville scale?
Scoville
Yeah,
scale?
this isn't very high on that scale.
You don't
this
think
is
so?
What's the top? Like 7,000, and this is like a 5.
Is your nose starting to run?
Yeah, my nose just opened up like just the tiniest little bit.
Have another one. I want to see.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Eat another chip. I want it to build more for you.
No.
Those are good. The Doritos Blaze. I think it's a good
They're
flavor.
not bad, yeah.
It's not too hot. Sometimes when they go too hot, then you just can't enjoy it.
I feel like they kind of went for the right thing where it's like, we're going to make a hot chip, but not a chip that's so hot where you don't think you can keep eating it. Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Are they limited or are they just...
I think they are.
For now.
But then again, I feel like with Doritos, they're like, if it sells, we'll make it. And if it doesn't, we'll stop.
And if it really sells, it'll be at Taco Bell soon.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
So game night is happening this Thursday night, but if you want to get practiced and warmed up, we're actually live on Facebook right now. So if you go to facebook.com/RadioU, click on follow, and then click on, it's like and then follow.
And then follow, because the following part makes sure that you'll get notified when we do our live event on Thursday night. And anytime we post something, then you'll get notified in the future. Okay, so what you can do is get ready now, and then you can watch us talking to Hudson, who is in the studio with us right now.
Still here.
Woo! Still here. Just like Nikki. Still here.
Still here.
So, all All right, like with game night Thursday night, we feel like we need snack food. And like not just like, hey, I stopped and got some Doritos, but like that snack food that is defining for you. Like I eat these snacks.
Had mentioned too, and it's probably the same if you're at a computer or a game or your phone. There's certain snack foods you can't have during a game night because then it's all over your hands.
Right.
So like I'm a Cheetos person. I love Cheetos, but I'm not pulling that out on Thursday night because that'll mess the game up.
Well, what if we do this?
Wear gloves?
No, we could get Cheetos, but here's a strategy I found since we used to have Cheetos in the break room and I don't want to get cheese on everything.
Yeah.
You get one of the solo cups.
Yeah.
Okay.
You put the Cheetos in it and pour it into your mouth. You can eat them anywhere.
That's great.
Anywhere.
And no
They
one
should
will
actually
know.
just instead of making Cheetos in those little bags that you buy for 50 cents, they should give them to you in cups.
We had years ago.
They do that.
In
like
Japan.
you can buy those. Like they sell them at gas stations. Cups of like.
I've never seen that.
We had the Mountain Dew Cheetos a long time ago, and they came in a cup.
Well,
like you pull the lid, kind of like a Pringles cup.
Yeah, well, Japan is clearly ahead of us in that technology.
Justin says red vines for our game night on Thursday. Let's see. Someone else mentioned Little Debbie's limited edition red and white blueberry. What is that? Limited edition
Nikki,
what?
the thing is, like, we're coming up on the 4th of July, and so you really got to cash in on
the red and the white?
red, white, and blue.
Someone else mentioned the ghost pepper chips. If you've seen those.
No. Why is it that, like, once you start with something that's hot, they're like, I want to see you scream.
We just want to play the game on Thursday night
Right,
and have a couple of chips with it. That's it.
We can't just have nice snacks. We have to have painful snacks that shuts down the stream. And they're like, because Obadiah was in there throwing up.
And then Gabe mentioned a beer nuts or bar mix, sort of the pretzels and mix that you get as an option.
Okay. Well, I'm not. That's not my scene. What
You don't
about
like that?
Then you have to pick through it because you don't want to get that one thing you don't like.
So, what about you, Hudson? Like, what would be your go-to?
Well, since we're doing more of like snack food than food, because like I always think.
You can say food if you
Well,
want
like
to.
pizza always seems to fit in, although I just had pizza, so I don't think I want it. Like once a week is enough for me for pizza usually.
Oh, that's incorrect. I can do pizza on a semi-daily
Daily basis?
Yeah. Like I can, like, I'm not going to say every day, but like I can definitely go with if I had pizza yesterday, then I'm ready for pizza by tomorrow.
Sure. Well, I don't know. I'm more, if I get a pizza and then I have leftovers, that's different, but I don't want to order multiple pizzas in a week. That just feels like I would eat it, but it just feels wrong. You know?
Okay.
That doesn't seem right.
I don't know what Hudson's saying.
I don't understand it either, but it's fine.
You just have to have different food that's terrible for you throughout the week so that there's some variety in your life.
You want to space it out.
Yeah, you have
gotcha.
pizza one night, fried chicken the next.
Ooh,
and
chicken.
then fried chicken would be good, but not for game night either. Definitely
Christopher
not.
said hot wings and Doritos. That's
I
our
really like the sound of that.
That's our lunch language we speak right there. That's not game night. That's lunch.
Can we set up a wing buffet in the game night room?
Hudson, you should just join the show all the time. I like what you bring to this.
Just a second ago, you were criticizing my pizza
that
schedule.
means we really like you because if we go back and forth on you.
Ooh, what about Shrew says mini corn dogs or Totina's stuffed nachos?
Others have said, someone mentioned combos.
Pizza rolls?
The different flavors, the combos.
Okay.
And then Franklin says beef jerky. That's
I
good.
like that. He says it's like gum. You keep chewing on it.
We could do that.
I don't want any. I'm not.
I just think.
I mean, you can keep chewing on it, but the bags are so small. It goes so quickly. I love beef jerky, but it's not worth it.
All right, so that's
in
a
this
nay
situation
for Hudson. So again, this is for Thursday night. We're doing our first ever game night on our Facebook page. We're playing Ticket to Ride. So Hudson's going to join us, and you can watch us. So we got to figure out our food situation.
We definitely do. So we're taking your suggestions. 877-2-RADIO-U. What's your go-to? Like, this is the thing I have to have for game night snack. And if you've never done game night, we'll just take this is what I need for snack.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
The Riot with Nikki.
Shut up.
Oh, don't tell me to shut up!
The Riot on RadioU.
We're getting warmed up for our Facebook Live event this Thursday night. Hudson will be joining us 9 Eastern. And he's actually with us right now, which is, hello, Hudson. Welcome to the studio.
Welcome welcome to you as well. I don't know what I was doing.
That was really good.
Yes, I'm here.
That was
Hello.
nice. So we're
fun.
doing Ticket to Ride. We're playing that on Thursday night with Hudson for our first ever RIOT Game Night. But now we've got talks of what are we going to do food-wise. We
Right.
got to plan these things.
We do. If you fail to plan,
You
Plan to fail.
Okay.
So Chris mentioned a cheese and veggie tray, and then a lot of people have jumped off that and just said just cheese tray.
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean,
Maybe with the little sausages or the little pepperoni things.
nobody wants the veggies.
No one wants
No,
that side.
definitely not.
That's just
They
one of
just
those.
eventually turn brown on there.
And then you throw it away, and then you're like, I waste food. Jared said a fondue fountain. What about that?
Ooh.
Does
Now that
anyone-
starts to get a little messy.
Does anybody have
do
one
you
from a
have
party?
one?
I don't
'Cause
have
I
one.
don't.
I
No.
don't.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, then no.
We're not going to buy a fondue fountain
Can't we
just
buy
for this.
anything for this show?
We're gonna buy the snacks.
Yeah,
You
but
can
we
buy
should
snacks.
we should have the budget for a fountain. Let's see. Lynn mentioned.
Wait.
No, we
Really?
don't really need it.
Okay, all right.
Lynn mentioned animal crackers with icing.
Dude, let me tell you what. That
Hudson,
is a potentially.
Hudson, change that answer right there.
Hey.
I don't want to hear a.
That's not the most exciting, but
What can we do to
that's
make
what
that?
everybody
You want
else-
sprinkles like a funfetti icing?
Have you never done animal crackers and icing?
yeah, it's fine. But I mean,
Oh my
like
gosh,
icing is
it's
good.
fine. This guy, we're gonna have
We're
a
turning
great
back
time
on
on
you.
Thursday
But
night.
what-
I'm just so excited.
And it's just one of those things where like icing is pretty good, but animal crackers are there's nothing exciting about animal crackers. They're just a conveyor belt for the icing.
no.
And
Okay.
we're fine with that.
Yeah,
And
well,
I
let
can
me
think of
fine
better,
with
like
that.
why not find something better to
A
dip in the
cake?
icing?
We're getting a cake again.
Okay, all right, great.
Our
Let's
last
do that.
Facebook
Let's do that.
event, we had a cake. We're getting
Why
a
don't
cake.
we do that? My thought is, first off, Hudson undersells icing. He's like, he said, and I quote, "It's just icing."
Well, wait, what kind of icing are you getting?
Well,
Buttercream.
buttercream, of course.
Well, that makes a difference. I like if you get like
Soft buttercream too.
Like
Like we'll
the-
let the studio lights warm it up. that sort of thing.
You know what
I
I
like
like?
the sound of that.
You know what I like to do is dip chips in cake icing. More so than because then you get the salty and sweet. Like again, when you're
Okay,
dipping an
it's
animal
get-
cracker,
Let's
you're
not
just
judge. Hold on. Let's not judge. We don't want to judge. But
animal cracker. You might as well just be dipping paper in the icing. But
Oh,
you get
now
some
I-
chips. You got
Okay,
the
wait,
saltiness
wait,
with
wait,
it.
Chris, do you want to play
Yeah,
Ticket to
can
Ride
you-
with us on Thursday night? Because I don't want to be here with that guy.
Wait, okay, but here's the thing that I want you to think about, though. Have you ever had a chocolate animal cracker?
Ah,
No.
dipped in
A
icing.
chocolate animal cracker dipped in icing, or, wait for it, peanut butter is, that'll blow your mind.
What about we build little animal cracker things, cookie things, and then we do peanut butter and icing?
I've so done that.
You have?
I've so done that.
All right, so now I feel we've moved too much onto the icing side.
Yeah.
Michelle said, what about a walking taco? That's like in a
Nope.
Frito bag, you do the
Nope.
taco stuff.
Yeah, that is when you, in a Frito bag, you go, walking
And there
taco.
it is.
Look, walking taco continues to be a euphemism for diarrhea. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what we call it.
That's what it is.
Anna says pizza rolls. We could totally make those in the oven.
Oh, my walking
Which
taco
sounds like
hurts.
we're in a commercial and we just got home from school. I can invite my mom over to make them for us.
Hey, guys, we'll have pizza rolls and some Sunny D.
Let's see, Miles. Oh, Miles, happy birthday on Sunday. Votes cake. So, Josh had pigs in a blanket made out of those crescent roll things.
Oh, yeah, that can be good. But I got to tell you, in all the discussion that we've had, like all the things that we've been saying to each other, if there was anything that has really gotten a hold of me, it's been this word cake that keeps being thrown around.
I like that, yes.
I like the idea of a tick. What if we got a cake that had a train on it?
Because we're playing Ticket to Ride.
It's got a little train on it.
That's perfect.
Can
What?
someone go to the grocery store's website and see if we have that? What's the train thing? Thomas.
When I turned 1 year old, I don't remember this, but I've seen pictures of it. I had a Thomas the Tank Engine birthday cake.
Yes!
I think
Okay,
my mom
maybe
still
we'll
has the
cake.
mold because I think she made it.
Oh, I thought you meant she still had the cake. That's where that mold comes from.
Save it.
James says Cake Mageddon Part 2.
I think cake is an option. I think we all kind of liked the cheese tray option too,
Sure.
and then maybe chips and a
Yeah,
dip.
there we go.
I like a Doritos, but I like a spicy Dorito.
That's why we all bring our own chips.
We all
chips
bring-
and drinks. You bring your own-
BYOC.
Bring
Bring
your
your
own
own chips.
2 liter if your last name starts with. Then you bring the chip and then your last name's on the other side.
Okay.
Deal?
I'm in. Like, this all sounds really good. Ooh, buffalo chicken dip.
Now, guys, I thought we couldn't eat everything because we're playing a game. You know, like we're playing a board game.
What if we do this?
Now
on
we're just
Thursday
talking
night,
food.
what if we just eat and then
we'll
do the game night on another night?
Perfect.
You know? Like, that's no big deal, right?
If we're doing dip, can we do crab dip?
No.
Oh, come on.
You're from
No.
Maryland.
Come on.
You bring that into the studio.
You can't even tell that it's crab meat. It's just the
'Cause it's
flavor.
not.
Okay.
No,
well,
it is.
No.
It's imitation
All right.
crab meat.
Here's my
You
thing.
can get real crab dip.
If you no, because if you're telling me right now that you're like, hey guys, it tastes like crab, but you can't even taste it, then why have it?
No.
Then
I
why
mean,
have it? And Nikki's right.
Guys.
Like the next thing you know, he's gonna be like, it's crab dip that we then dip in maple syrup.
Hey, wait. We're yelling now. We're yelling.
I'm comfortable with that.
I'm saying.
I'm comfortable with that.
We're yelling. Let's just.
I'm comfortable with that.
We're just gonna have to take a moment, okay? This is what happens
All right.
when you start liking certain food and other people don't like it. And Hudson's just saying.
He's just no one's ever just saying.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
I was hanging out with a friend last night. She was trying to get airfare together to go home and visit. And boy, what a train wreck the entire thing is. It was absurdly expensive. Then she had some airline miles that her dad had given her, like, please come home here, have miles, come
Which you
home.
can't usually end up using all the time.
Well, she was able to use them, but it was just like an absurd amount of miles to go. Like
for $10 off or
all
something.
of it. And then there was still like a $130 fee
Yeah.
for whatever. It's just crazy stuff, man. So when I see all of that, and then I see things like this, I'm not sure who the victim is in this story. I'm just not sure who it is. We got a man named Michael Haig. He was on a flight to Charleston.
Michael was bad.
He was bad. Okay, you know what? I didn't catch this part. He inappropriately touched one passenger.
And he wouldn't leave another one alone to where they had to move him to an empty row. I think it was Frontier.
It's
Frontier
Frontier.
Airlines
Yep.
going from Colorado to South Carolina. So he had been removed. He'd been so intoxicated. He really bothered very much so some of the other passengers. So they moved him into his own row so he was by himself, and then that way he'd get picked up by police when he was getting off the plane.
And then this woman decided to take a picture of him, and then he started peeing all over the seat.
There's a total picture. It's like a fountain. Like, what's going on? In this seat. And have you ever been on Frontier? Their seats are not like, there's not a lot of padding there. And then there's this poor guy in front. You just see his back. He has no idea the person behind him's peeing on the seat.
You know what? I don't think it would take long to figure it out. Between the noise and the smell that would soon follow, you'd figure it out.
I mean, he's just peeing.
You would figure it out, for sure. You
And
would.
I feel bad for the crew who have to clean up. Like, how do you do that?
Do they?
Yeah, they have to, I think, legally.
I'm sure.
They got to put a towel on it
I
or
can
something.
think of a lot of legal things that are supposed to take place.
Just really bad. Like the one time that I was in a plane and the person in the row behind me threw up onto the aisleway. Mm-hmm. And it was as we were landing, so the stewardess people couldn't do anything because they were buckled up in their seat, and they said, well, we'll have to take care of it. And so they had to just basically throw stuff on it so then everybody could get off the plane walking over it and then finally clean it up. There's only so much you can do.
I've had that experience. They put down the towel and ask you to step over it.
Don't look, guys. Don't look.
Been there, done that.
But that poor person just got sick. This guy, he was doing that.
So my thoughts looking at this are just what has happened in my airline seat. You know, the one that cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars that I've paid to ride in someone else's toilet in the sky. I mean, these planes are basically just big outhouses. All right. That's what they are.
Pretty much.
Outhouses with wings flying through the air. And then you have to start asking yourself more uncomfortable questions. Like if this happened on a plane, what happens at the seat in the movie theater that I'm sitting in? What do they do? Because I got to tell you, the people, like the flight attendants, they are paid way better than the guy I see sweeping up the popcorn at the theater. And let me tell you something right now. That guy's not getting down and really giving each seat in the theater a real good cleaning.
Down.
Like, just making sure he's doing a really good job.
This also just makes me sad at our society at this point that it gets to the point where you're peeing in the plane. Not like in the bathroom, but in your seat.
I think this just goes to show you that society is just an illusion.
I think if we talk to anybody working with an airline, I'm sure this happens all the time.
It's so much worse. Like, there are things they're not even allowed to say.
Maybe airports should be dry just so that it can be a pleasant experience for everybody else.
What do you mean by dry?
Like there's no bars and stuff.
Okay, because like I'm fully in favor of being a no peeing zone, if that's what you mean by dry.
I just meant not adding fuel to that person's fire.
I thought they were dry.
The Riot.
All right, pace yourself because you're going to have to do this all day for very little money.
Radio U.
I don't know if anybody else uses Redbox. I feel like I'm the only person, but when I go, I almost always have to wait for someone else to walk away from the kiosk.
I always see people at the kiosk.
I guess what I'm saying is nobody in my immediate circle of friends ever used Redbox.
Aww.
I don't feel bad about it.
I would just rather download it where I'm at and just pay a little extra for a good download price if I get a deal.
Sure.
Compared to just renting it.
No, I get that. Like,
so I just never use Redbox.
Streaming video is something that I'll do, if it's like, hey, here's a 99-cent deal or whatever. And, sometimes I'll pay the $5 for an online rental, but man, it's just hard to beat, what is it, like $1.50 a night or something for a Blu-ray. And I know that I've fallen into the trap where you don't take it back, but I like taking it back because then I'm like, yeah, I win.
So it's $1.50 per night. So if you don't take it back, you just keep paying every day?
You just pay every day you keep it with you.
Until you get it back.
And that's why their business works, because they know you're lazy. And that you're like, I'll just do it tomorrow.
Well, the one thing Obi's been wanting is the ability to get more 4K movies that way to rent. I mean, we don't have hardly any rental stores around here.
I only know of one chain. Family Video is the only video store that I know of that's left.
But they didn't have a lot of 4K options that were still there.
They had a decent selection, but they were scattered in among the rentals. And which made them hard to find. And then the couple that I was interested in, gone.
Yeah.
Which means that apparently all of us 4K people are all interested in the same thing.
There's like 10 of you.
So we went in, got the good ones and left.
And again, you can download and you can buy, but 4K is more expensive.
It is. And on disc, like it's just like with streaming, it looks better. And if you care about things like picture quality, which I'm not obsessed with it, but I do care.
It's your preference.
And so, like, that's what I want. I want to get that. And
well, Redbox hears you.
Redbox.
But they're not helping you yet.
Well, they kind of are. They're starting a test up where they're going to start renting 4K Blu-rays for $2.50 a night.
What do you feel about the price?
Oh, I actually think that's fair enough.
Okay.
Like, they're more expensive. You always pay a premium if you're on the new thing. I get that. And at $2.50 a night, it's like, yeah, okay. That works for me. So they're doing that, but they're only doing it in 6 cities: San Antonio, Portland, Seattle, Nashville, Denver, and Salt Lake City. My hope, though, is they did the same thing with video games. Like it was all a test market thing, and then boom. And dude, I love the Redbox by my house because I think I'm the only person in my town that rents video games from Redbox. Because if there's a new game, I can get it at Redbox basically without even trying.
I don't know why it's hard for Redbox. I mean, they buy the discs. They're not provided, though. So, buy the 4K disc, put them in there.
Well, they got to see if anybody will rent them.
Yeah, but you're there, so try it here.
It's just me. The games thing I felt like would take off. This 4K Blu-ray thing, oh man,
not so sure of it.
This ain't gonna work out.
That's all right. Well,
it's not gonna work out.
We'll see if that comes to more cities. But again, Redbox will be testing the 4K discs in certain select cities.
Yeah, and like I said, around here I'm the only one, but I like it, which means they're doomed.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.
My mom says that lemon is a feminine flavor.